Believe it or not, this used to be Collins Music Hall on Islington Green. I used to come up here first house Saturday night with my chums, see some marvellous acts. I always remember Hal Blue used to come on.
Oh, I used the cafe next door, right next door to the theatre, you know. The Electric Cafe. Oh, man, they call it the Electric Cafe. The food's just shocking, you know. And then a lady would come on, who affected deafness, with a mouth organ, and he'd say, oh, we've got a musical interlude, have we? And she'd say, yes, in the mood. I'll play for you, in the mood, and did it very badly. And he said, well, Scandal. She said, yes, Handel. Oh, I love Handel. Oh, Handel. You like him? Oh, yes, he's right up my alley. And he said, yes, it's where your mouth organ should be. And there was this sort of outrageously rude comedy. And then the climax was a man saying, and now, the lady who will defy the Lord Chamberlain's ruling that a naked woman shall not move. She will be naked, but moving at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, Peach's Pay. And then this woman, who was called Peach's Pay, was pushed on, quite naked, sitting on a bicycle. And they shoved her, and she wobbled across, you see, and somebody holding their arms out to grab the bicycle and pull it in. And of course she did defy the Lord Chamberlain's ban, because though naked, she did in fact move. Up there you can see the remnants of what was the dress circle, and over there was the stage.
I'm in love with the fairest Signora, and she's such a dear little soul. She thinks that I'm an Italian too, and that's why she loves me top hole. Her father, he liketh me not, of him I am daily in fear. So I wait until midnight when he is in bed, then I warble this song to my dear. Oh Signora, are you coming out tonight? Signora, I'm here in the pale moonlight.
If your father Spaghetti won't give his consent, and he says that you can't marry me, I'll start a vendetta and stick my stiletto right in the place where he'll never forget her. Signora, my love, oh, I'm waiting patiently. Slip on your camisola, jump in my gondola, and bunky-do-lido with me.
In 1944, I got my call-up papers, and I had to come here to the drill hall in Duke Street, the Artists' Rifles, actually, and be medically examined for army service. I went in with considerable fear and trepidation, I can tell you. I was paraded in all my embarrassing nakedness before these army medical officers, and they all made sort of terrible noises of disbelief.
Oh, good dear, oh, for heaven's sake, oh, good gracious. One actually said, for heaven's sake, man, pull the stomach round to the front. And I had my back to him at the time. Eventually they just sent me off in disbelief to Harley Street, where a specialist who looked like Vertigosi and took about a pint of blood off me said that I'd be B2 grading because of pernicious anemia. And so I went and did 6 weeks primary training at Carlisle Castle, after which one MO simply said to me, yes, well, you finished the course, didn't you? You're fine, A1.
Eventually, a crowded troopship took me to the Far East, and it was there in 1945 that I became involved in troop entertainments with comedian Stanley Baxter, director John Schlesinger, and playwright Peter Nichols, all of whom influenced me enormously. Returning to Civvy Street in 1948, I tried to settle down, but somehow it wasn't the same.
Still find it fascinating just looking at maps. I came back here to the drawing office after I was demobbed, and I think I genuinely tried to have a go at being a draftsman all over again. But everything had changed because, I mean, I'd done flatbed litho, working on stone in reverse, and everything now had become rotary. And then Stanley Baxter said to me, I don't know why you're bothering going back to the drawing office at all. Why don't you go on with your acting? You obviously enjoy acting, all those impersonations you were doing in Singapore. I used to do impersonations out there. I was doing Churchill. We shall fight all the beaches, all the landing ground, the end in the air. We shall never surrender. wonderful stuff, marvellous stuff. And so, take it out, because enjoy it, do it. A career is not taking out an insurance policy where you have security for life, you know. It'll be ups and downs, but if you enjoy doing it, do it. So I did.
In fact, he was a very good draftsman. It's a pity he didn't carry on. He had a good job, a good steady job.
Oh, do stop shouting, please. You there! Is that remark addressed to me?
Stand to attention when I'm talking.
Why?
Why? Don't ask why. Do as you're told. You're in the army, son.
Oh, not quite. I'm still a civilian, with civilian rights. Now, don't shout, please.
What is your name? Please.
Bailey, James Bailey. How do you do?
Fine. Absolutely bloody fine. But I'll feel even better once you're in uniform.
Thank you, Sergeant.
All right, carry on, Corporal.
Oh, I mean, it's just like any other job after a while. Just gets as boring and as routine as any other work. Learning lines, having a retentive memory and all the rest of it. It seems absurd now that I should arrive down these stairs and call up to my mother and say, what was it you sent me on the errand for? Because I forgot. It seems extraordinary now because, I mean, the very thing I have got now is a retentive memory. That's the very thing I've got. It's funny to imagine that someone as fluent, articulate, elegant as myself was once such an idiot child. It's very weird. You can't imagine it, can you?
If you're not so much rich, you're famous, well known by a lot of people. That's right.
Yeah, but all the money values are distorted because if you do a film and it takes, what, approximately 6 months to do, and your fee for that film, let's say, is £3,000, to say to the ordinary man in the street, I'm getting £3,000 for that film, sounds really rather marvellous. But when you spread that money out over the time you are wanted, which might be 3 days over 3 months, you realise that that payment, coming at the end of 6 months as a total of £3,000, is not great money at all.
Who are you?
Me? I'm the mechanic. I was still working on the tower when you took off. Oh, honestly, frightened the life out of me. I wasn't expecting it. I was just sitting there singing happily to myself, and then next minute, whoosh, I was up here.
Sit still. I can't control the pain with you jumping about.
Well, I'm only trying to get comfortable. All these knobs and levers here sticking in me. Here, what's this one?
Don't touch it!
Oh, it's the ejector seat. Come back, where are you?
It was in this theatre, the Lyric Hammersmith, that I did my first review, which later transferred to the West End, and then years later I came back to direct my first play, which also transferred, and that means that this auditorium has a lot of affectionate memories for me. And the wheel turned full cycle when the schoolmaster who'd directed The Rose and the Ring all those years ago came backstage to visit me here, and we talked about what decides you on a career. I said then that I thought talent was something you were born with, but that style and the form would change with all the influences that came into your life, all the people you've ever liked. And the way that Shelley puts it, we are a portion of everything we've ever loved. And I think it is those loves that form the tissue, if you like, of belief and faith. Because acting is all about faith. Performing is making an act of faith, believing that you can create reciprocity between the auditorium and the stage. And that's why when the atheist says, what if life's pointless, what if it's all a joke, has to be answered by the comedian, well, if it is a joke, let's make it a good one.
Good evening. Who are all these people that doth trespass on my domain? The hedgehogs call me Jungle Jim. Now, don't be rotten. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Get your clothes off.
It's all the same. Animals haven't got anything we haven't got. Now, stop messing about.
I know what side my bread's buttered, ducky.
Hello, Sylvia. Down to these parts, eh?
I've got a lousy agent.